Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts, UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Thank you for joining me again today. And it's Simple Stamping Saturday! I love Simple Stamping Saturday. It's the day when I get the opportunity to take a, what's the word I'm looking for? Quick, simple project through a slightly more complicated, through to a definitely kind of avid project. So it's the same design each time, it's just stepped up a bit. I always start on a note card and envelope. This time we are using Very Vanilla. And of course this is the end of my Father's Day week. So I'm using the Waterfront stamp set. This has been with us for a wee while. You can tell by the branding because we're now into the lovely, I really love it, black and white, really modern and up to date. But this is an older stamp set. It's in the new annual catalogue, which is always good. It's carried over. I like things that carry over. It just makes me very happy. It is, let me, find it for you. Oh, you'd think I'd have got this sorted out really, wouldn't you? It is, oh, not what I thought it was going to be. Okay, let me, so the new annual catalogue, I can show you it now. Let me find the Waterfront, page 125. Why is it so near the front? I was expecting it to be with the Come Sail Away, but it's not. It's in amongst the Mosaic Mood. Okay, so it's on page 125. There are some really cute little projects shown here that give you some inspiration. It's amalgamating items from the Friend Like You set as well. So you can see that there are some similarities because there are palm trees here and here. That's kind of the only real similarity. But yeah, so I thought I would use Waterfront because, as I say, it's a slightly older stamp set and many of you may already have it. So let me show you the project, and it's this. Now I know it doesn't say Father's Day on it anywhere, but I think every little kindness makes the world brighter is not an inappropriate sentiment for a Father's Day project. So, and then obviously one can handwrite inside that it's for Father's Day. So I have a note card. Very vanilla note card. Remember our note cards and envelopes come in packs of 20 and they are amazing. Now I'm going to need some scrap paper. So we have got 4 ink colours that I'm using, and I'll go through, I'm adding more for the casual and the avid set, but the 4 that we're going to use on the simple quick set are Pool Party, Mossy Meadow, Soft Suede and So Saffron. I tried to reduce it down from that, but I failed. So going to start, strangely, with the sentiment, because the sentiment kind of dictates where everything else is going to go. So I'm inking this up in Soft Suede, and just bear in mind that this is where the card stops. So I'm just going to pop that down a little bit lower down, I think. There. So we now have our sentiment, which is great because we now know where we can work around. So still with the Soft Suede, there are 2 what I would call splodges, peaked splodges, and I'm using the smaller. This one I think is more of a mountain. I'm not quite sure what this is good for, but not for what I'm doing. So Soft Suede, and then I'm going to come in going off the edge of the card and do my first mountain. Ink up again because, how can I show you this? Okay, let me get a scrap. So here's a scrap of card. If I stamp there, and then before I have cleaned my stamp again, you'll see, you can see where we've got this is second generation and this is still first generation, because I was stamping on cards. So always, if you want to use second generation and you've stamped off a card, ink up again, stamp off, and then come back in to put your second generation in. And actually I could have used my third generation there, but I'm in that habit. We're doing a third generation mountain just there. Okay. And although this has got extra ink on, it kind of blends into the first mountain that we did, so it's fine. So that's the only thing we need with that stamp, and it's the only thing we need with, or the only things we need with the soft suede. Might as well, as it's in the order, go for our sun/moon. So Saffron, and it's a little splodge, stamp off, because So Saffron actually stamps quite dark. So Saffron, that's all we need the So Saffron for. If you don't have So Saffron and you don't want to buy it, although why you wouldn't want So Saffron, I don't know, then obviously you could leave the sun out, but it seems a shame. Right, now I'm going to do something that's going to sound really, really odd, but I'm going to start by actually cleaning my stamp because my block is filthy. That's better. I'm going to start with stamping off, which I know is going to sound odd. I want to build my scene from the top down because it's much easier to position if you do it from the top down. Now, I stamped the first bit of water off, and there's, can you see, there's this sort of splodge. Let me get that. So on the stamp, it's this stamp we're using, and that, I turned it upside down and stamped the second generation that way. The first generation, I'm going to turn the stamp over so that the splodge is at the top. It just means that we get a slightly different look. And it looks more, well, it looks less repetitive. So that's what we need the pool party for. And then I need to clean the pool party off. Grab my Mossy Meadow. And Mossy Meadow is a great ink. Let me find somewhere that's vaguely clean. Because, let me ink this up for you and go 1, 2, 3. And you could probably get a fourth generation of ink, and it's just a beautiful bit of shading. I'm going to go third generation, I think. So 1, 2. And again, I want to turn my stamp so it looks less repetitive. Stamp, nice pastel-y sort of, or not dark colour. And then ink up my trees really well and come back in, put my stalks onto that green bit so that they're not floating in the middle of the water, and stamp. Now I'm going to leave that there for a sensible length of time so that I know the ink has transferred, and there we are. Who would think that this ink is the same colour as that ink? So do remember, you do get different colours if you do second generation. 1, 2, 3. This is third generation first, second, you know, lots of variation. So that is our card. How simple is that? Quick, easy. Just remember you need to, don't need that anymore. You need to stamp off a few times, and you need to clean your stamp, particularly this one, the in inverted commas water stamp, because you don't want to go Mossy Meadow and Pool Party. It's just not a good look. So that is that one. Now it's a simple stamping, so we need to do our envelope, and I think the easiest thing for our envelope, this is second generation now, is just to pop trees in the bottom corner. Simple as. So nice little project for Father's Day. So that's that one. Now, if we step it up, I'm going to introduce coloured cardstock, very vanilla smooth cardstock, and copper foil, and some of the copper trim. I've also introduced Pear Pizzazz. So this is a Pear Pizzazz base, and there is a lovely stamp, and I have to accept I have only just found it. This splodgy stamp, I love it. It looks like splatter. So I've done tone on tone Pear Pizzazz So I introduced a 5th colour, Pear Pizzazz, and I just did tone on tone on a Pear Pizzazz card base. And then I've done a little rectangle of Very Vanilla, which I've then popped up onto, so this is on dimensionals, onto a piece of foil card. And then I've got foil trim doubled over and spread out to come out the side. And then for the Avid version, I've gone real watercolour. So on watercolour paper, I've done the same stamping, but I've then come in with an aqua painter and moved the ink around. And I've introduced the Well Said stamp set, which is 2 containers. And one of the stamps is Father's Day. And you can also get dies for some of the smaller words. So really, really nice set. Not now a bundle, I'm afraid. We've gone into the new catalogue and this carried over. So this isn't a bundle, but it's a great set. Well worth investing, even if you just get the stamps or just the dies. Brilliant set. So those are our 3 cards. And I say, we've introduced an extra Pear Pizzazz, an extra colour for the for these 2. You don't need to, but particularly for this one, watercolouring the Mossy Meadow will make it look like Mossy Meadow. So I hope that makes sense. If you need to purchase any of these items and you're in the UK, that would be amazing. I am hoping to hit a sales goal this quarter, which means by the end of June. I think it's unlikely, but if you don't aim for the start for the moon, you can't end up amongst the stars. So, fingers crossed. So if you would like to purchase from me, that would be fantastic. The links to all of the items are below, and what I do with all of my simple stamping projects are I start with the quick simple version, move on to the things we need to add for the casual version, and then the things we need to add for the Avid version. Oh, and I should say there's Mossy Meadow cards there as well, but not on the Avid version, so I've added extra card on the Avid version. If you enjoyed that, I would love you to give me a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, that would be fantastic too. Again, I'm hoping by the end of June to have 7,000 subscribers. At the moment, I'm at about 6,600-ish, just off that. So 7,000 would be amazing. Do remember that from now until the 22nd of July, if you purchase the Daisy Lane stamp set or bundle, but you need the stamp set, then I will gift to you a full, because this is not full, set of the faceted gems, which make perfect daisy centres. So they go perfectly in both the big and the small. This is such a fantastic set. I've had great fun using it. I used it for my last Simple Stamping Saturday, and this was the Avid version that I did. This in particular has had some really positive feedback. It is definitely an Avid project, but it's gorgeous, and it's got one of the faceted gems in the middle. Bear in mind that buying the punches will not get you, or in isolation, will not get you the faceted gems. If you buy the medium Daisy Punch as a bundle with Daisy Lane, you'll get the faceted gems, or if you buy Daisy Lane on its own, you'll get the faceted gems from me. So just a thought that may encourage you to buy Daisy Lane. And as I say, you've got until the 22nd of July to do that. So thank you very much indeed for watching me today. As I say, if you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Questions, comments below. And I look forward to seeing you. I'm going to be posting on tomorrow, which I know is unusual. It's a Sunday, but I am posting tomorrow, and it's a very special post. So do come back and look at that tomorrow. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you very soon.